So this is going to be another movie review. This one's called Extreme Justice 1993. I'm giving it 2 out of 5 stars. I dislike this flick. They're an elite task force. They target high-profile criminals. Learn how they work and shut them down. All right, that's what the movie poster says. I'm not impressed by the movie poster either. This is not a great flick. I thought Commando was much better than this, but I'll get to that later. Extreme Justice is a 1993 U.S. crime action thriller film. Gee, must be one of those Karate Man recommendations, directed by Mark L. Lester, of course. Anything directed by Mark L. Lester gets on my list, thanks to the Karate Man of the Australia. Originally intended to be released theatrical in April 1993, Trimark Pictures canceled its release due to the 1992 Los Angeles riots and shifted the film to air on HBO. On June 26, 1993, the film was first theatrically released in the Philippines on May 5th, 1993. So don't tell me it went straight to television unless you're talking about the United States, I guess. Release dates, May 5th, 1993, Philippines. June 26, 1993, United States. So it did get a U.S. release in June of 93. I'm sorry, it aired on HBO in June of 93. It went straight to television. Like I said, after an incident where he used questionable police tactics, Jeff Powers' Lou Diamond Phillips is placed on probation. Upon hearing of his probation, a friend from the force later invites Jeff to join the Special Investigation Section, an elite and highly secretive Los Angeles Police Department LAPD unit designed to track and shut down high-profile criminals. Jeff discovers that the group is actually a group of rogue cops who actually function like an unofficially sanctioned death squad, and are given wide latitude in dealing with criminals. Although their official mission is to survey criminals and arrest them in the act of committing a crime, this squad often resorts to brutality and murder to dispatch the subjects they are supposed to arrest. All right. So Lou Diamond Phillips' new boss is Barney Fife. Shoot first and ask questions later. Barney Fife. We've got running the LAPD here. Jeff questions the purpose of the squad and begins to see them as more of a harm to society than a positive force for justice. Well, duh, what took you so long to figure that out? When he tries to bring evidence of the squad's abuse of power, he learns that the squad is protected by well-connected and very influential people who already know and condone the squad's method. All right, this is a shining spot of the movie. First, we see one of the disillusioned cops who cuckoo nutty crazy, cuckoo crazy. He goes cuckoo crazy after he shoots this teenage girl in a car for no apparent reason. And he goes cuckoo crazy and he shoots himself in the head. Uh, with blood splattered all over the wall, he does a Kurt Cobain thing, sticking a gun in his mouth. And that was a cool scene. Jeff's girlfriend just happened to see it happen, and it's on camera. That kind of surprised me, actually. That's the first thing I liked about this. The second thing is kind of the police corruption angle, but there's not really too much of that in this one because throughout the whole thing, even Jeff says that the SIS intentions were good, but unfortunately, things got out of hand. And now you've got a rogue cop with too much power. Wow. As if that's a real big surprise. Mr. Lou Diamond Phillips. I think he was better than La Bamba. All right. So the running time is 96 minutes. Budget $8 million. Lester said the film was based on real incidents, saying the police would wait around until crime had been committed and wouldn't arrest people till later. My favorite scene is where someone is being raped and they're just waiting in the car until the rape's over, then they move in. That's what they would do. Let the criminals rob the bank and then kill them as they left. All right. So Lester doesn't like the LAPD, I guess. Lester said he made the film with deliberately ambiguous leads so some people can watch it and say they're doing a really good thing while others can say they're really not. I think it's pretty obvious that they're not. Wikipedia is saying, see also Magnum Force, the second film in the Dirty Harry series. Okay, let's compare this to Magnum Force. I have not seen Magnum Force, but I do have it on my list, probably thanks to Karate Man. Oh, Karate Man here is here to praise Mark L. Lester. He says, Mark L. Lester is one of the greatest action directors ever and underrated. The way he directed Commando and Showdown in Little Tokyo is epic. Showdown in Little Tokyo. I don't remember that one. Hitman's Run with Eric Roberts is a fun B action movie, which you reviewed that too. It's got a lot of action, especially the base with Mark Dacascos. Not sure why Mark L. Lester's directing career was going direct to video after Showdown in Little Tokyo, maybe because it flopped, which was the reason. He was a pretty big director in the 80s. Okay. So, like I said, Karate Man's recommending these movies by Mark L. Lester because he says that Mark L. Lester is underrated and his career went downhill even though he was a great director, I guess. So we've got Extreme Justice, rated R, 1993. Karate Man's in the chat room. 1 hour, 36 minutes, too long. Gets a 5.5 out of 10 on IMDb, 1,400 ratings. So it's not an obscure film. And it does get a higher rating on IMDb than what I'm rating. A rogue cop joins an elite LAPD unit who secretly operate as a vigilante death squad, but soon begins to question their methods. Soon? Really? I think he watched a lot of people die before he. Oh, it's got Daniel Quinn from Scanner Cop series. Cool. We like Daniel Quinn on this channel. More like this, Night of the Running Man, Renegades, also with Lou Diamond Phillips, Extreme Prejudice, and Black Moon Rising. I've seen Black Moon Rising. At least I think I have. I probably reviewed it on YouTube. All right. Jeff Powers is the newest member of a very elite and very secret LAPD division. Their mission is to target important criminals and to get them to stop. Police brutality is not a known term for their division, and they will stop at nothing to get the job done, even if it means murder. So, in other words, the ends justify the means, and shoot first, ask questions later, because Barney Fife is in charge. They're an elite task force. They target high-profile criminals, learn how they work, and shut them down. That's from the movie poster. Rated R on appeal for strong graphic violence, language, and for a scene of sexuality. There's no nudity in it. The rape scene doesn't have any nudity. It's like watching a girl get raped on television. All right. Which is good. I don't have to confess that I watched a nude or blasphemous film. Thanks to Karate Man. Karate Man got me off the Adrian depraved hillbilly movie from called Drum. So I actually avoided near occasion of sin watching nudity and blasphemy today as opposed to Drum from yesterday. According to an article of the Los Angeles Times in 1992, the producers of this movie were the subject of intense surveillance by the Special Investigation Section during the making of this film. So there was an actual LAPD department called SIS. They didn't make it up. It's based on a true story. In the beginning, there is a party where the crew of cops shoot some beer bottles. One cop lines up 5 empty beer bottles, but the other cops shoot 12 bottles half filled with beer. Larson, tell me, detective, what kind of police officer watches a young girl get raped? Good question. The Larson counsel dude is onto something. For the German VHS release by United Video, almost all the violence is cut. The DVD release is uncut. I think I prefer the DVD release. Featured in Extreme Justice, Vidmark Entertainment VHS commercial from 1994. Soundtracks, California Calling, performed by Brian Hayner, written by Brian Hayner and Sue Heaps. All right. Let's see an IMDb review. Let's go over this real quick. From Lost in Limbo, dated March 15, 2013. This Lost in Limbo person is the film a 6 out of 10. And he's comparing it to Magnum Force. All right. How long have you been getting away with murder, boss? That's the title of the movie review on IMDb. Supposedly this person is rating it a little higher than I did. Supposedly, this film, when it came out, caused a bit of a stir and controversy by claiming that the idea behind the premise, an elite group of LAPD cops operating outside normal police guidelines that target high-profile criminals, was inspired by the facts. The idea is scary. Bystanders sometimes considered necessary sacrifices. In other words, collateral damage in a street war, but not particularly new, as it did remind me of the Dirty Harry sequel, Magnum Force. All right, so this movie is an official ripoff on Magnum Force. Although this death squad were not rogues operating outside the law as in that film, well, that's what they like to think in what is an official unit. Extreme justice might be audacious, but what occurs is by the book and formulaic. Really? Okay. Get a different opinion here. Director Mark L. Lester's mechanically brazen handling balances the tough action with the not so black and white context. Some set pieces are frenetic and raw, chucking in foot chases, car chases, bloody shootouts, and Mark Irwin's sweeping photography. Sure, it can be somewhat heavy-handed and morally bounded, but Lester keeps it reality bounded, and it's the lead performance of Scott Glenn that sells it. He plays the leader of the SIS, Special Investigation Section Unit. Glenn's outstanding performance is lean, but also ballsy and cynical, as you can see it beginning to affect the film. Lou Diamond Phillips suitably plays the brash but idealistic rough newcomer to the squad who actually begins to question the method in how they go about getting the job done. Watching the two go at it fueled some tension in between the setups. After setups, there's good support from the likes of Yaphet, Kotto, Chelsea Field, Richard Gove, William Lucking, L. Scott Caldwell, and Ed Lautner as the police captain. Daniel Quinn and Andrew Divoff play some criminals. We love Daniel Quinn on this channel. While also look for action stuntman Larry Holt and stuntman actor Bob Miner. Trust me, amigo, you're made for this work. All right. Rambo Raff for Life calls Lou Diamond Phillips LDP for life. Okay. I'm not sure what that means. Lou Phillips was in a horror movie years ago. We'll post the name in the comments section later. Okay, thanks. I'll have to check it out. I remember him from La Bamba, which says a lot about types of movies that I watch, doesn't it? La Bamba? Yeah, nobody cares about La Bamba. All right. Well, I've got the two Australian mates in the chat room, the only two who care about my movies. Unless I do a really old movie, then Professor Quiz will chime in, or do a really sick, perverse movie, and the Nalsa genre cult will comment, I guess. Really sick, perverse Italian horror movie, or giallo. So each person is unique and sovereign. Karate Man's into the action. Nosa genre cults into the foreign action, the foreign horror giallo, and then you've got Professor Quiz, who's into George Zuko, 1940s movies from Poverty Row. Then you got Adrian, who's into the weird stuff. All right. Speaking of Adrian, I've got Hillbillies in a Haunted House, 1967, top of my list, number one. Number two is Street Fighter, 1994. And then I've got Twin Dragons, 1992. So those are the next three on my list. I'm going to take a little nappy poo after Legion of Mary. I wasted my time getting stuck in traffic trying to get a confession at my stupid church where they don't have enough priests to do confession today, apparently. So I just wasted gas going back and forth, sitting in traffic for like an hour and a half for no reason at all. I could have started Hillbillies in a Haunted House today, but oh well. I'll try to pick it up tomorrow morning laters.